Let's be honest, there's something undeniably magnetic about certain older men, and it's rarely about money, looks, or trying to act younger than they are. What truly draws women in is subtler, quieter, and far more powerful than any surface-level charm. These are men who don't need to announce themselves when they walk into a room, and yet there's an unmistakable effect. Women notice it instinctively, often before they can even explain why. It's not loud or chaotic. It's not a surge of adrenaline or wild excitement. It's a calm, magnetic pull, something that just exists. This attraction isn't random or mystical. It's rooted in precise psychological mechanisms linked to female biology, the nervous system, and attachment patterns. What I'm going to share are 4 core things certain older men do, sometimes without even realizing it, that reliably spark desire in women. And when I say desire, I don't mean fleeting curiosity or polite interest. I mean real, compelling attraction that makes women want to stay. Most modern dating advice isn't built for men who've lived. It's aimed at younger men just stepping into relationships. How to send the right text, when to respond, how to manufacture mystery or play games. But once you've experienced love, relationships, breakups, and growth, those tactics stop working. Often, they backfire. At a certain point in life, women aren't drawn to surface-level gestures. They respond to coherence, emotional stability, and tension that is grounded. They respond to men who know themselves, who have clarity about who they are and what they want. This is where many older men falter, often without realizing it. They assume that stability alone is enough, or that kindness, seriousness, or reliability automatically inspires desire. It doesn't. Desire isn't triggered by moral virtues. It's a bodily, emotional response. A man can be impeccable on paper, but completely neutral when it comes to eliciting attraction. That's why women sometimes say, "You're a great man, but I just don't feel anything." What they really mean is, "My nervous system isn't registering you." Desire isn't a conscious choice. It's an internal, physiological reaction, and it hinges on 4 foundational pillars. The first pillar is one of the most misunderstood: calm confidence. Many older men radiate a quiet, grounded confidence. It's not arrogance, dominance, or loud bravado. These men don't feel the need to prove themselves. They don't over-explain their intentions or feelings. They communicate simply, and they listen deeply without losing their sense of self. They don't convince or justify, they simply exist. This has a profound effect on women. When a man speaks calmly without defending or seeking approval, it signals emotional stability to the female brain. The amygdala, the part responsible for sensing threat, relaxes. In that lowered state of vigilance, desire can naturally emerge. Conversely, men who over-explain, reassure excessively, or verbalize every thought often unintentionally signal insecurity. Even if intentions are pure, too much explanation is subconsciously read as a need for control or validation. A man who is centered doesn't need to justify who he is. His inner posture communicates it for him. Women often describe this as presence, and it's incredibly alluring. Especially for women who have endured emotional turbulence and are no longer drawn to reactive men. They're looking for someone who can hold themselves, someone whose presence is stabilizing and magnetic at once. The second pillar ties directly to the first: having a full, meaningful life. This isn't about being busy to look important or creating artificial scarcity. It's about genuinely living, pursuing routines, commitments, passions, responsibilities. When an older man places a woman at the center of his entire life too early, it creates pressure and subtly diminishes desire. Mature women don't want to become the center of someone else's universe. They want to be a valued part of an already rich life. A man who moves through life with his own rhythm, who isn't constantly available, sends a powerful signal of value. It's not manipulation, it's a natural cue of worth. Dopamine, the brain's anticipation chemical, responds to what is not instantly accessible. When a man doesn't rush, when he allows interest and tension to build over time, desire grows organically. He becomes intriguing, authentic, and reassuring. Not someone seeking validation, but someone inviting another person to share in what already exists. That sense of steadiness is magnetic. The third pillar is often underestimated: playfulness and lightness. Many older men become serious too quickly. They want to be respected, to be taken seriously, to appear mature and dependable. And while those qualities matter, they aren't enough to spark desire. Desire needs play. This isn't about crude jokes or superficial flirtation. It's subtle: a lingering glance, a smile that says nothing, a teasing comment with zero expectation. The essential ingredient is freedom from outcome. A man who can flirt lightly without seeking approval creates ease. That ease lowers a woman's defensive circuits. She doesn't feel pressured, claimed, or obligated. She feels invited. For women who've been through heavy, tense, or emotionally demanding interactions, this approach is rare and incredibly attractive. Playfulness signals emotional strength, the ability to hold tension without creating anxiety, and very few men can pull it off with authenticity. The fourth pillar is the most powerful: clear standards. Women are drawn to men who know what they will accept and what they won't. Not in a controlling way, not with ultimatums, but with steady, calm clarity. A man who can walk away from what doesn't align with him without anger or drama demonstrates deep self-respect. And self-respect is magnetic. From a psychological perspective, this creates natural polarity. A woman understands that her presence is not required for his emotional equilibrium, which paradoxically heightens desire. Desire never moves toward dependency. It moves toward strength. A man with standards doesn't negotiate endlessly or become reactive. He simply acts in alignment with his values. That alignment between words and actions builds trust, and trust allows desire to flourish safely. When these four pillars converge: calm confidence, a fully realized life, playful energy, and clear standards, a unique dynamic emerges: emotional leadership. Not dominance, not control, but inner alignment. These men aren't trying to lead women, they lead themselves. And that is precisely what many women unconsciously seek. Not a perfect man, not an extraordinary man, but an aligned man. A man whose presence both calms and stimulates simultaneously. That combination is irresistible. This is why some women become deeply attached to these men. It's not about perfection, it's about coherence, grounded presence, and an authentic, magnetic sense of self. Older men who embody these qualities don't chase desire, they naturally evoke it. They are men who have lived, learned, and built themselves in a way that resonates deeply with a woman's nervous system. And when that alignment exists, attraction isn't fleeting. It's lasting, compelling, and profoundly intimate.